Do you like aggressive decks? Do you like decks where you play creatures, grow those creatures, turn them sideways, and send your army in? Do you like decks that are total meta plays right now and are going to defend you against at least 50% of the field? I'm Joel. Today, let's talk about the mono-white with a little hint of blue deck that I've been playing in the standard best of one ladder. In response, hello and welcome to the day. Thank you for spending your time with us. Welcome back to another episode of Jake and Joel are Magic. I am Joel. Today we are going to talk about my mono-white with a splash of blue best of one ladder climb deck that I've been playing. Real quick, if you wouldn't mind, click like, click subscribe. It really helps us out. We'd appreciate it so much. Let's get into the deck. So, one of the main decks that you see right now on Arena is the mono red deck, and mostly a lot of small, go wide, on the ground creature decks. This deck specifically plays against them. The whole strategy of this deck is to play small creatures, your Dauntless Bodyguards, your Skymarcher Aspirants, your Snubhorn Sentries, and your Legion's Landings. Grow them with things like Benalish Marshal, Adversary of Tyrants, Ajani, Venerated Loxodon, and Unbreakable Formation, and swing. This deck establishes a ground game so quick and just pounds and pounds and pounds and grows and grows and grows. And most of the time I'm getting scoops out of the opponent before like turns 4, turn 5. Earliest this deck can go off is like turn 3, and it's just pounding in, and they're playing tap lands turn 1, turn 2. I'm already over here building a board and a state and just going and going and going. It's ridiculous. One of the best openings that you can have with this deck is to play Legion's Landing, create a 1/1 vampire. It's important because then you'll have a land, an enchantment, and a creature, and you're already 3 cards towards turning on your Skymarcher Aspirant with a send or turning on your Snubhorn Sentry with a send. Also, the life gain can really help win the burnier matches. Best turn 2, of course, is an Adanto Vanguard or a Tithe Taker. I like Tithe Taker against the control matchup. I like Adanto Vanguard anytime. They both have built-in board wipe protection. Adanto Vanguard with its indestructible clause, and Tithe Taker with the Afterlife 1, which is not that bad of a thing, especially when you follow it up with a Benalish Marshal. You have Benalish Marshal making your flyers 2/2s instead of 1/1s. You're swinging through with Unbreakable Formation. Anytime that you can get damage across with this deck, you're going to want to do it. As you can see with my build, it's not fully put together. I've got a couple different options. I really would like a 4th Legion's Landing when I get the wild card. I'd really like a 3rd or a 4th Venerated Loxodon. I'm playing around, might go up to 3 with the Elephant Cleric and see what that does. But honestly, this deck just rocks. Deputy of Detention. Deputy of Detention is the only card in here that I splashed blue for. I like it because it clears the ground. I can get that Wild Growth Walker, get it out of here. I can stop their Planeswalker. I can turn that off while I set up getting an Unbreakable Formation or a Benalish Marshal on the board and just swing through even heavier. It's huge to be able to play a 1-drop, a 1-drop, a 1-drop, a 1-drop. Play a bunch of them. Fill up your board with 3 or 4 creatures from History of Benalia to any of these 1-drops, and then drop a Benalish Marshal as a finisher. Drop a Venerated Loxodon, and the next turn drop a Benalish Marshal or an Unbreakable Formation as a finisher. It's important to remember with this deck, it's built for best of 1, first of all, so there's no sideboard. And 2, these are your finishers. These need to be surprises. If you can help it, fill up the board with as much creature as you possibly can, and then drop an Unbreakable Formation, then drop a Benalish Marshal. That's how you're going to win, that surprise last bit of damage. I'll tell you, the times where I've had 2 Dauntless Bodyguards, a Snubhorn Sentry, and a History of Benalia going, and they tap out to do something, and then the next turn I drop Benalish Marshal, most of the time the opponent scoops after that big swing. So that's pretty much it. The deck is full aggro. It's play your small creatures, get them out of your hand. You might even take a turn off to play a History of Benalia, even if you've already got 3 1-drops on the battlefield. If the next turn you've got a Benalish Marshal or a Venerated Loxodon, Unbreakable Formation, or even a Ajani, you drop that, grow your stuff, and keep on swinging. Thank you so much for watching. As always, we appreciate your time. We know it's valuable. Let me know what you've been playing in the best of 1 standard ladder. I'm gonna put up a video for every best of 1 deck deck that I've been climbing the ladder with, messing around with, because I think I've found some pretty fun builds that really play into the best of one thing pretty well. You want an aggro deck that goes fast. It wins or loses fast because it's mostly a time game, and you want to make the most of that time. If you liked the video, please go down there, like, subscribe, share it with a friend if you want to. We'd really appreciate it. Other than that, this week I am tapped out. We'll catch y'all next time.